My company is called The Winning Edge. My name is Bert van Walbeek and I have been living in Thailand since 1985, where I arrived as the Director of Marketing from the Royal Orchid Sheraton. Since 1985 I've been involved in training the tourism industry, working together with organizations like TICA, the Thailand Incentive Convention Association, with SITE, Society of Incentive Travel, and have helped to develop the MICE business in Thailand considerably. After 3 years I left for the Middle East, still working for Sheraton, but in 1991 my family and I came back, originally for 2 years, and we're still here. So I took the job as Vice President for a company called Siam Express and worked there for a couple of years. And having many people asking me for their help, I decided to start my own consulting company. It's called The Winning Edge. We are a boutique consulting and training as well as coaching company that is mainly functioning in the tourism industry, but we also do a lot of work in the car industry, pharmaceutical industry, and other companies like that. Well, the first reason is a little bit of a silly reason. Nearly 40 years ago, when I met my wife for the first time, I promised her that I would start a consulting company on my 50th birthday so that I don't have to travel so much anymore. Well, as a gift on my 50th birthday, she gave me all the documents for The Winning Edge, and that's how we started it. The main reason, however, is that during my working years here, both in a hotel and a tour operator, I saw the big explosion of the tourism industry and therefore the need of more qualified people working in the hotel business, the tour operator business. Since at those days there was not very many training opportunities, I saw the chance of starting a training company originally that turned into a coaching company and helped the tourism industry in Thailand to develop the human resources they are looking for. There's still a huge need for training with the continuing explosion specifically of the hotels and of tourism in general, with the big figures that we are raising here. I think the opportunities are still there and we are looking forward to work on that. I started training basically when I came here and trained the staff of the Royal Orchid Sheraton. Then I worked together with TICA, and these days I'm also very much involved in lecturing at universities, not only on the theoretically but also on the academic side of the subjects that we are talking about. A life-changing experience for me was an outdoor training in the northern part of Scotland when I used to work for an American hotel company, where we were taking outdoor to see how we react under pressure. And at the end of that exercise we arrived at a certain place. We were told that unfortunately the car or the truck picking us up is not there, and we could choose staying there or we could choose moving onwards. Out of the 16 people, 2 stayed and 14 moved onwards. And surprise, surprise, the truck was waiting around the corner. The bottom line of that story is that whatever problems you have, you should always try to realize that a solution is around the corner. And that's an experience that I still, after many, many years, very strongly believe in, and gladly have discovered that yes, there is always another bus waiting around the corner. The other major inspiration was my involvement in various crises. First in the Middle East, then in May '91 here in Thailand, and slowly but surely I discovered another opportunity, and that is handling crisis and doing crisis management. So as the Thai word or the Chinese word for crisis, which is Wei Chi, has two characters, and the one character says challenge and the other character says opportunity, we turned that opportunity, or that crisis and the many crises we have here, into an opportunity. And the second leg, the winning edge, is standing at that moment on is a lot of crisis management, consulting and training, basically not only in Thailand, although there's a big need for that, but also in Asia. The third one is really the comments I get from my students. Normally at the end of the course, when they realize that being a tough teacher doesn't necessarily mean being a bad teacher, and actually gives them a lot of experience. And when they then tell me, thank you very much, this was one of the best lectures we've ever had, or I'm going to use what you taught us in my real life, motivates me very much in continuing doing what I'm doing at the moment. Last but not least, then coming into hotels or tour operators and having staff come to me and said, I was your student and I enjoyed it so much, and now I have a nice job and a good career. That really is my biggest inspiration, helping other people. Okay, I think one of the reasons for success is that my 45 years experience, combined with a good understanding of the academic theories behind the tourism industries, is a formula that has attracted a lot of attention, specifically with the students. I'm able to combine how we won the war stories, or sometimes how we lost the war stories, with the theoretical approach, and that makes it much more interesting for the students. I also have 25 years of real life experience, so there is not much that I haven't seen or haven't done, and that helps considerably when I train the younger generation on the various subjects in the tourism industry, like selling, like marketing, like upselling, and that kind of techniques, negotiation skills. And that, I think, is what HR and human resources really need. And by delivering that, and having lived in Thailand now for nearly 30 years, I also think I have a good understanding of the Thai culture, the pros of the Thai culture, but also the negatives about the Thai culture, and that having an impact on doing business not only in Thailand, but like the tourism industry around the world. So tourism crisis, tourism training, all that has helped tremendously to make the Winning Edge what the Winning Edge is at the moment, and making it a successful organization that I think serves to needs that will last forever in this part of the world. Okay, I think the biggest challenge was the ups and downs in Thailand, the financial crisis, the natural crisis, the man-made crisis, all was a big challenge. But as I've said before, every challenge or every crisis has its opportunity. So my first tip is to really watch your cash flow, because you never know when the next crisis will come, and having a cash flow will help you considerably. My other tip is don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's why I branched out from the tourism industry into other industries, and specifically sales and negotiation skills. It really doesn't matter what you're selling. The skills and the techniques remain the same. And I see the same thing now happening with the crisis and crisis management and risk mitigation. Again, the subject is universal. It's just depending on the organization, the technical part is different. The other challenge is that I constantly hear from organizations when we discuss training or coaches, we're too busy and we have no time, or we're not busy enough and we have no money. So there's this constant fear for training, because there's also this opinion that when we train people, they will leave and go somewhere else. A lot of people don't seem to understand that good training can be very motivational and can be a retention tool, instead of just being a, I train them and then they leave me kind of approach. That is, I think, the biggest challenge when we talk about training, when we talk about developing our human resources in a constructive way. Training is helping people, and helping people to make career. And that's the fun part of it. When I then see people that used to work for me 25 years ago in the Sheraton, now being general managers, owners' representatives, directors of marketing for large hotels, that for me is, of course, a fantastic opportunity. My tip is, please continue training, never stop learning, because there's always something new you can learn. And that basically is the bottom line of the Winning Edge, and our vision is a very simple one. Our vision is help reaching your vision, and that's what we do at the Winning Edge, and that's what we have been doing since 1993, and we hope to continue doing that for many years to come.